is an election night update from King 5 News.
Here's a look at the long line of voters in Salt Lake County, Utah. Turnout has been high in Utah, which has 6 electoral votes up for grabs. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are facing a challenge from independent candidate Evan McMullin. McMullin has billed himself as the anti-Trump conservative candidate. The polls close at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Welcome to King 5 Election Night coverage. I'm David Espinosa Hall.
And I'm Amanda Graves. We do have some voting machine glitches to report. There is a hearing happening right now in Colorado to keep the polls in that state open for an extra 2 hours. Colorado Democrats filed for that extension after that voting system went down for 29 minutes. Meanwhile, election officials will be extending poll hours in North Carolina and New Hampshire by 20 minutes after glitches in those states.
Back here in Washington, one of the big statewide races we're watching tonight for you is for governor. Incumbent Jay Inslee is looking for a second term in the governor's mansion. His challenger is former Port of Seattle Commissioner Bill Bryant. Chris Daniels has the latest on the final hours of the Inslee campaign tonight, and he joins us right now.
Yeah, David, there's a lot of optimism here at the state Democratic headquarters in Seattle's Madrona neighborhood. Democrats have held on to the governor's mansion for the last 32 years here in the state of Washington, but that is not stopping people from making phone calls and emails at this hour, reaching out to voters to encourage them, if they haven't already, to get their ballots in the mail by 8 o'clock tonight. And it was here in this room earlier this afternoon that Governor Jay Inslee spoke to supporters about what he expects tonight and going forward. Here's what he had to say to reporters after.
We're going to elect the first woman candidate as President of the United States. We're going to reject intolerance and bigotry. We're going to elect a majority of Democrats to the state legislature so we can move issues like the minimum wage forward, so we can have reasonable safety standards, so we can improve education. These are Democratic issues, and we're moving the ball in the state of Washington.
The volunteers here really have not taken anything for granted. They all packed into this room earlier this afternoon. It was very warm before they went out one last time, canvassing King County in particular. According to the volunteers here, just in the last 24 hours, volunteers have knocked on 15,000 doors in King County, made 34,000 phone calls trying to get people out to vote in this election cycle. That's the story. Back to you.
That's a lot of work. Thank you so much for the update. So Jay Inslee's challenger, Bill Bryant, is coming from behind. In the primary, Bryant captured some 38% of the vote, and that's roughly 11% behind Inslee.
King 5's John Langler has a look at the final push from the Bryant campaign tonight, and he joins us now.
Good evening, Amanda. Bill Bryant and his family will be here at the Bellevue Hyatt later on this evening with the rest of the Republican leadership to watch the returns come in. The campaign does think that tonight will be possible that they could win. They cite some of the recent returns that have come in that are slightly more positive for their push. Now, this was a scene earlier this afternoon. This is the campaign SOTO headquarters in the Seattle area. Volunteers making final phone calls to get out the vote. They had phone banks set up in Vancouver and the Tri-Cities also. But two areas there that the Bryant campaign believes will bring them more votes. Bryant himself was upbeat when we spoke with him a few hours ago.
Cautiously optimistic. The ballots that were cast in the last 5 to 8 days have been overwhelmingly, we believe, Republican votes or independent votes, which we are taking.
Bryant isn't too concerned about the impact of the presidential race on the local races, specifically his own. He is not a supporter of Donald Trump. In fact, we asked him who he did vote for president. He wouldn't tell us, but he did say he did write someone in. Live in Bellevue, John Langler, King 5 News.
And as we head back to NBC's election night coverage, let's take one more look at the Electoral College picture. Currently, Hillary Clinton has 75 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 66. We'll continue to track the big local and national races. We'll have another update in 25 minutes.
We'll see you soon.